I know some of you in the room personally, but avatars are most definitely an improvement. So it's nice to see everyone out and about, no masks at all, and even some clapping. Thank you. So I'm just here to say a few thank yous. My name is Dan Stein. I'm from JDS Virtual, and the good news is I am most definitely not a comedian. First thank you I have to make is to the guys from Verbella. They've donated this incredible space, and they're contributing Right, okay, you're now all muted. We finished clapping. Craig Leslie, you're out of control there. I can see what's going on. So thank you to Verbella for donating this space. A thank you to IDO Virtual and the team who are the UK main sales agents for Verbella and helped to organise tonight. Hannah Gray, who is basically a professional organiser extraordinaire and who introduced me to David Lewis from Hard Bloody Heart. David Lewis is a man who somehow managed to combine corporate and comedy, two words not normally found in the same sentence. He's even gone above and beyond and managed to find a couple of unemployed comedians to come and help entertain us tonight. And finally, our main sponsors, Prime Clean, who without them, you'd all be relying on me for your comedy. They managed to deliver the dreams of every office manager. And that's not a pay rise, but a nice, clean, sanitized office. They take all the hassle out of worrying about your cleaning and deliver COVID deep cleans. Thankfully, as it's a virtual event, there's no clearing up night. The beauty of Verbella, right now, there's people logged in from the USA, UK, and even Andre the comedian all the way from Lisbon. If you like what you see from this platform, contact us afterwards and we can arrange a great tour. Now the housekeeping. Please leave your microphones on in a minute, not yet, unless you live in a noisy house, because for some reason, these comedians, they're a bit sadistic, they like a bit of feedback, they like laughter, and even a little heckling, but I'd suggest that at your own risk. Send us a joke, please. There is a prize available tonight for sending us the funniest gag on the night if it's clean enough to be read out, and Spurs jokes will be an automatic disqualification. As most of you know about this from LinkedIn, don't forget to tag us, #comedy night. Now, without further ado, great pleasure to introduce you to the main man himself, David Lewis, who for anything after this is entirely to blame for anything that goes wrong. Enjoy.
For everything that goes wrong.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed, Dan. My name is David Lewis, and yeah, I am the comedian for tonight's evening. I am the host. It is great to be here with you tonight at the world's first ever Avatar comedy show. It shows. You guys look absolutely fantastic in the audience. Some of you look like you've taken on quite a lot of radiation over the course of this global pandemic. And there's always someone dancing to that Korean song that was a big hit on YouTube. Lewis Malka, I'm talking to you tonight. The show tonight is going to be about 45 minutes long, though at times I'm sensing it may feel a lot longer. Most of all, we keep it at 45 minutes because we know we don't want to keep some of the members of Verbella senior management away from their lobster thermidor and bottles of 1981 Chateau Petrus. So I've checked the company out. Some of you guys are doing well. So it's going to be really fun. I know we're going to have a great time just as soon as I come up on this virtual Xanax. I was sold in the green room before. This is the proof that the Xanax is working very nicely indeed. That's me. That's what I do now at corporate events. So thanks to that kid on Work Experience who got that code off the dark web. One final bit of housekeeping. As you know, there is a joke competition. Send it through and we can read it out. I've really taken to experimenting with my avatar self in the green room before coming on stage. I did manage to spray some bleach up my backside, in the virtual world at least, to see if what Donald Trump said was true. But sadly, all it's left me with is this rash and burning sensation too. Speaking of rashes and burning sensation, I'd really like to let you know about the acts we've got coming on tonight. Yes, Andre and Andrea are behind. Yep, they're hearing this material for the first time as well, which is all good. In fact, both of... I love that. I love that I'm being drowned out by the sound of Korean YouTube anthems and one man dancing as my mum watches on, judging my life choices in avatar form. In fact, both of our comics are trying to replicate the normal world of live comedy as much as they possibly can right now. So they're both backstage quite profoundly self-harming and presumably trying to get back with their exes on virtual Tinder as we speak. But they are pumped to be here. One of them actually asked me today just how far can we go with the filth? The general advice I said to them is, as it's an American audience, just go up to, but no further than the full QAnon conspiracy. So we'll see what they come up with. You do you, hun, I said to them, as my girlfriend tells me as I fill in our tax returns. Now, if I'm honest, they're super funny. I'm so pleased that they're here and that they both survived the COVID-19 pandemic so far. There'll be added irony to that as you watch them both die later this evening. But don't be alarmed. I'm having a look at this crowd. Man, God bless you all. Some of you look like you really have eaten your own young. No offense, but Joel Lassman, I am speaking to you there. Others looks like, as I say, you've taken on quite heavy doses of polonium over the course of tonight's show so far. Many of you are sort of dressing quite a lot like many of us in Britain will be dressing after Brexit, after we inevitably drop down about 3 or 4 international credit ratings and we're much poorer. You will note this is what I currently look like. I said to the organisers, for me to agree to do this gig, I would need a green bolo tie, 3 penises and fallopian tubes as well. And it looks like they've delivered. So it's all good. It's strange standing up here watching over all this madness and being powerless to do anything about it. This really is how Mike Pence must have felt. So, sorry, I've got this cough and I've lost my sense of taste. I'm sure it's nothing. This place that you guys have created is incredible, man, really, to the Verbella staff, with its different rooms within the campus. It is so lifelike. I would hope as you go forward, you'd make it a bit more realistic for British users in 2021. Instead of a conference or a meeting room, you'd really need to make a Making Casual Racism Acceptable Again room, where German members are openly bullied and reminded repeatedly about World War II. So that's essentially where we are now as a nation in the real world. Thank you for that horror show, sir. What I'm really trying to say is Brexit is fucking stupid. Now, if you thought my comedy was just a lazy bunch of ill thought out tropes, all I can say is you got me. I've really got no idea if finding any of this funny, but I suppose we will work that out over the course of the night because I can't hear too much. You know, jokes aside, it has been amazing to do this show tonight with all of you in here. I've got some more stuff I'm going to be coming on to later on, but as I go backstage and finish off most of the rest of that virtual cocaine, I think it is about time that we bring on our first act. Now, Andre De Freitas is a man who really does put the expression star quality in these. It sounds like there's a leak in here with all that clapping. But it's all good. This next act very much puts the expression star quality. You know what? I'll come back to that. I can't hear myself. I can't hear it. We're going to bring on Andre. Where are you, sir? Come onto the stage, Andre. How are you? The outfit is looking miraculous.
Professional.
David, are you going to stay on stage, or are you okay? Okay,
I want to congratulate your outfit. You look fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to leave you to it. It looks like you're about to go and invade the Americas. So I'm going to leave you to it. Cheerio.
Yep, as a Portuguese, we are known for our invading. Honestly, it's good to be here in the virtual world. I can't wait to start worrying about my career in two different realities because I didn't think the real world was dragging my mental health down enough. I went for the random avatar, and honestly, you guys nailed it. You guys really nailed it because on the inside, I've always felt like a thick, mustached cowboy who wore green suits, and it feels good to finally be myself. I have to say, though, congratulations to the creators. I love the potential of it. A new world where you can do anything, you can be whomever you want. But so far, this is quite professional. It's a virtual world of networking. I give it 1 week until people start selling drugs here. I say 1 week, I already saw someone on the chat being like, who's selling the weed? And in reality, I think this is a perfect forum to sell weed, to sell any drugs, really. It's much safer to sell any drugs here than in the real world. Like a while back, I was driving, and I was driving in my actual car, and I got stopped by the police. And when I did, the officer asked me for my license and my documents. Now, when I got my documents out, a little white ball came out of my wallet. Obviously, the officer noticed and he stopped me and he said, "Excuse me, sir, that cocaine that just came out of your wallet?" And I said, "Officer, I hope so, but you never know with these guys." I've been looking around the universe and I ended up at the virtual worlds by Verbella, right? I thought this is the peep show section. Imagine my surprise when I found out it was just meeting rooms. Guys, you don't need to make conference rooms private. Trust me, there's no one here looking for more meetings to go to. But you're still in the early process, right? You're still trying to sell this. I completely understand. Before I got into the lucrative game of avatar stand-up comedy, I actually worked in sales too. In fact, I worked every job I could in London whilst I was trying to make it. Worked all sorts of jobs. Any of you guys ever worked a job that's so shit you wished an immigrant would steal it? Like those were the jobs I was at. I used to sell paintball tickets on the street. Paintball tickets on the street, commission only. Commission only, the hardest work I've ever done.
Has he been thrown off?
Someone shot him.
What happened?
Sorry. Yeah, weird. I don't know. My mic went off. Huh?
Send the next guy on.
Oh my God, who's saying that? Wait. Can you raise your hand? Joel Lastman?
No, it's Lewis Malka. Definitely Lewis Malka.
That was Lewis. Tell us another one, Lewis.
Oh, great. I thought the only way I was going to get heckled here was by my mom walking into my room telling me dinner's ready. But great, now I get to be virtually heckled in my room too. Fantastic. No, it's okay. It's okay. This is all part of it. I mean, we're all trying to get used to this new reality. But I'm more worried about the people trying to sell the ad space for it, because it's really difficult. Well, like when I was selling the paintball tickets, it's very difficult. Because I always thought, like, no one has ever left their house thinking, man, I sure wish I could find a paintball representative that can sell me some tickets I can use anytime in the next 2 years. In reality, I didn't sell any paintball. I sold the idea of maybe one day going paintballing. And it turns out that idea of maybe going paintballing was worth 60 pounds. Now, let me give you guys some tips. I know that there's a lot of salespeople here in the crowd today. All you have to do is get people on the yes train. Get them to answer positively to any question like, is this going terribly? Yes. That's what you want to get going. In reality, the reality is, my experience with sales is the majority of people are quite stupid. Like, I would just ask random questions. You got friends? They would say, yes. I said, let me ask you this. Do your friends have birthdays? They would say, they do. And I would say, well, I don't know you very well, But let me go out on a limb and ask, do your friends have a birthday once a year? And they would be like, oh my God, they do. How do you know? Well, you have the perfect profile for paintballing. Now, I have to say, it is very nice to be gigging. I haven't done that in a long time. When I told my dad I was going to be doing a gig, he was very worried, obviously. He was worried about the virus. He said, make sure that people are socially distancing. I said, obviously that isn't a problem. My gigs have been socially distanced for years. Up till now, I just called it empty seats. And I don't know how your experience with the pandemic has been, but even dating has been challenging. I had to change my Tinder distance to 300 meters. And that's just my mom with a different wig on it. Like, I'm seeing some very sexy avatars here tonight. So, make sure to see me after in the green room. I'm the cowboy in the green suit. Can't miss it. And I said dating during the pandemic is hard, but it's always hard, especially in London. I know that we have a lot of people in from England, most of them probably from London. When I was in London, I had my first serious relationship there. It was pretty amazing. I have to say, I was in love. I loved the way that she owned property. It was just really beautiful. And she was British, I'm Portuguese, and when you date someone of a different nationality, right, you always end up entering this unspoken agreement in which you both agree to learn about each other's culture and each other's customs and each other's language. Now, I remember one day my girlfriend, she came up to me, she looked me dead in the eye, and she said, Andre, te amo. And I'm like, wow, that's Spanish. I had a friend in London who's going through a divorce. I don't know. I guess this is a really challenging time for relationships in general. Divorces have never been higher. My friend who was going through a divorce at the time, he'd been married for 10 years, and now he had to enter the dating pool again, which is really hard, very challenging. And he said he didn't know how he's going to go back there. I told him, buddy, you have a jacuzzi and a home cinema. It'll be fine. You try dating when you're a broke comedian. Because let me tell you right now, it's very hard to keep a mood going on a virtual gig or on the night bus with a homeless guy touching himself behind you. I would hate taking girls on the night bus. I remember one time we got off the bus and this girl said to me, "Is like, you know what? That wasn't so bad. Don't worry." And I said, "Well, I'm glad you feel that way because this was only the connecting bus." I think you have to understand is like you have to know how well your sex travels. Like, for example, I think I have sex that's worth 2 zones. If we meet in zone 1 and I live in zone 3, you'll be happy. But I have to take you to zone 4, that won't be so good. This was obviously a problem because I lived in zone 6. And trust me, it's very hard to find attractive girls in zone 4. Now, this is the new world we live in, right? I do have a bit of a technical question that I would like to put to the Verbella staff. Like, who can I talk to about making my avatar's dick a bit bigger? Because it's called virtual reality, not just reality. So I'd like to get into that a little bit more. Guys, I think there's so much great potential for this, and I think this could really be the beginning of something amazing. Although I tried beating David Lewis with a bat before and nothing. So there's some room for improvement. Because I think in every world, whether real or virtual, there should be an option to beat David Lewis with a bat. Guys, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this, the first ever stand-up avatar gig. And you guys have an amazing line.